Let's talk about a basketball family. This is your boy Mikey, stepping back all the way through. We talking about the saga that's been discussed probably a billion times on the internet right now. It's all about, Kyrie Irving, Brooklyn Nets, what's happening, where's Waldo, all that stuff, man, Kanye fun and all that. Right now, in this situation, we see one of the top guards in the NBA going through a moment, right? But I want to discuss that moment. I want to walk it through as people on the front end, give them the benefit of the doubt. Then on the back end, I'm gonna go in on my fellow Jersey boy and figure out what the hell's happening in this situation and why it's as it appears from the media he's acting like this. So let's go front end first. Let's get into a situational case real quick and talk about me and you as regular people working either a 9 to 5 or whatever your hustle is, your business. There's things that you do for years and years and years, right? 10 years in, right? Kyrie Irving, I guess, started his career 2011, 2021, almost a 10-year career doing the same thing every day. And if you don't have that passion for that same thing you do every day, there's things that happen to you in that work life. There's times where you go, because you're human, because we're always thinking, we're human beings, we have an intelligent brain. That's our biggest asset right here, is up here. You think about moving on, right, and doing something different. I understand the argument. I'm with you. Guy making 30 plus million a year, I'm gonna go out hard no matter what and keep going. Again, I'm not in his shoes, so I can't say that. But from the outside looking in, I'm going in hard. But I get the case of having the same thing and doing the same thing every day. Let me put it more simple for you. Could you drive the same car for 10, 20 years? All right. Now, a lot of people say, well, I got an old school Camaro, or I got something special, a Ferrari, I don't know, F12 or something like that you got. And you say, I can keep this forever. But tell me that you don't want to drive something else on the side and try it out. Tell me you could just drive that car, daily drive every day. That's not going to happen, right? There's always going to be a time where you want to, let me try that out, right? And I think Kyrie Irving's at a stage of his career 10 years in where he's saying, is this only me? Is this my legacy? Am I going to be known just as a basketball player? And the argument is he feels as though he is a bigger person than basketball. Now I'm gonna go in a little bit. The problem that he's gonna really realize is technically basketball made you. All right, and that's what it is. Even though he definitely is an intelligent human being, and it looks like he has the capacity. He probably could have been a Google CEO. Let's be honest, right? But he didn't choose that path. So the facts is the facts. I'm step back, Mikey. Stats tell me you made it through basketball. I know you through basketball. Through basketball, now I'm following some of the other stuff you do with foundations and donations and trying to change the world, and help the African American different groups of lower society, because from an economic scale we are lower than where we're supposed to be. I get that, and I'm all for it. However, who made you is basketball. Do you slip them away and say, you know what? I don't care about this no more. I'm moving on. You could do that. I wouldn't disrespect you. I'm a nobody, but I wouldn't disrespect you. I'll say, okay, I get it. But are you going to slide away the thing that made you and that got you to where you at, the thing that's giving you that notoriety, the platform that you have? Imagine if you win a championship and they see you say, I'm giving to this, donate this fund, right? Stuff like that. That's how you get noticed even more. And I think he needs to think about that as we go through what may or may not be an issue with Kyrie Irving. Now, let me go into the attitude problems, okay? So with that being said, we get it. People want change. We respect that. Gotcha. I do feel basketball made you, man. No offense. And that it is what it is. A lot of basketball players try to get away from it. Man, I'm 6'4". No matter where I go, no matter where, gray hair, balding, whatever, bro, I get the same question. Bro, do you play basketball? Do you play football? Every minute, I get it. It's a headache. It's a headache, guys. Let me be straight up with you. I'm not even an NBA player. It's a headache. It's a headache. Just like, shut up. Who cares? But no problem, right? That's what you got to deal with in this society. People are always looking for something different. They're looking for what other people do. It is what it is, the attention, right? And I don't think Kyrie's an attention guy. That's why I'm segueing in. I don't think Kyrie's an attention guy. He's a low-key guy, a little bit introverted. I am as well. I don't know. When the camera comes on, I'm going. But I think that's the other issue with Kyrie. He wants his space. He wants his space. And it's a lot of pressure being in that light because I'm not even in the league, like I said, and I get harassed all the time. I go to the gym, I get harassed all the time. People are obsessed with sports. There's something about sports. They're obsessed with it. They see you dribbling or shooting around. They want to ask questions. You got to take it for what it is and just go, okay, all right, I get it. This is what they feel is their passion. That's what their passion is or what makes them happy. And you got to deal with it as a player. And they pay you a lot of money to deal with that. That's the other side of that. So now you got an employer. Let's come back. They're paying you X amount of dollars, 30 million, blah, 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 all day. And now you go, you know what, bro? You know what? I really don't want to play anymore. I don't want to fulfill my contract. And now, on top of, being one of the top players and them relying on you and them needing you to win a championship, they need you. Yeah, that's the truth. They do need you. So they're relying on you. So this is even more than just your employer and employee. This is Kevin Durant. This is Calvaro, Joe Harris. They need you. They're relying on you. And now you're putting yourself ahead of them, which in some cases I get, and going, you know what? I need to do my thing. I need my time. So he had this birthday party thing with his sister I saw on the news, right? And the birthday party thing, I get it, all right? Maybe in his 10-year career, I haven't never seen him take time off, to be honest with you, except for injury, right? He's been injured a lot. So maybe this was, you know what? This is my bucket list. And he talked to the Nets organization, the management said, I need a week off to just stay with my family, all right? Or this is another situation where he heard that James Harden was heading over after the conversation Sean Marks had with him, and he was like, you know what? I told you I didn't want James Harden because I got Karis LeVert, I got Spencer Dinwiddie, I got Mr. Allen, and I think we can make it with this team. Don't break us up. Could this be a tantrum that Tyrie's angry from? That's potentially it in that scope of the business, and that's not his place. As the employee, that's not your place. You can vet your concern, you can vet your anger with it, but you're still supposed to come to work to play. Let's go back to the guy that they traded for, James Harden, a guy that apparently was causing some issues in Houston with teammates, blah, blah, blah. Let's be honest, he still came to work. He still came to get played with the Rockets, didn't he? He still came to work, didn't he? That's a model. That's a model for kids, especially the youth in our lives that think everything's easy. You have to show work ethic. He's not showing work ethic right now. He's being a little bit too selfish, almost selfish to the point where now you're hurting yourself. You're hurting your look. You're hurting the values that you, again, values don't necessarily mean, hey man, he's dating 50 chicks. Hey man, that's the outside. Listen, I separate that. I can do, when I'm out of work, I can do my thing. That's my time, right? However, when I'm at work, I'm there to work. I'm there to work. Actually, I'm there to work 24 hours at the end of the day. Whatever I need to get done will get done, and I can still have my fun. Kyrie should still be able to have your fun outside of work, man. You're trying to win a championship. Don't go too selfish there. I know there's maybe a little bit of anger with James Harden move, but in all honesty, once Spencer went down, they had to make a move. Spencer Dinwiddie was huge for this team. Karis LeVert looked good to me. I mean, he did. I'm not gonna lie, Kyrie, he probably got me. He looked good. I was like, what you trading for? Karis looked like he's coming up, but they saw something of a right now, right? They said we need something right now, and that's what happened, man. All right. This guy, Parra, scoring 50 points per game. I mean, not per game, but he's having those big outbursts, a tremendous scorer. And now we have combined to make probably the scariest trio from an offensive perspective when you look at all aspects, because these guys can drive and shoot, right? The Splash Brothers can mainly shoot. Clay wasn't known for his driving ability. I think they're almost on par, in my opinion. But these guys, from an all-around perspective, probably the biggest assortment of stars ever in the history of NBA on one team from an offensive perspective. We don't get into that real quick. So that's what we're seeing right now with the Nets. And Kyrie just needs to get his head on straight and realize it's not about him right now. There's times that you have to be selfless. And you're being selfless for everything outside. Peace be God to you. Whatever your feel is, whatever you feel like you're doing to help the world, God bless. However, you are being selfish to your teammates. You are being selfish to the organization, the NBA, that got you to where you're at. Where else can we find $30+ million jobs, right? Like that. Look what you got on that platform. Because there's CEOs that make $30 million, but you don't see them on TV like they see you. You're getting exposure too. Think about that, Kyrie. Let's jump into the Nets. What are they doing next, man, from that situation? How are we trying to figure this out? Their squad right now looks so good on paper with these additions, right? We talked about Harden. Now let's look at the lineup and what they got, man. They got Bruce Brown, the defensive king. That's what he's going to have to be. 6'4", 6'5", supposed to be defensive king. People are sleeping on Chris Chiozza. They keep throwing him a slight to the side. Dangerous player. I hope, is he Puerto Ricano? But I'm telling you, Chris Chiozza is a dangerous, dangerous player. I say Puerto Ricano with a Chiozza last name. It sounds like Italian, maybe a mixed player. So anyway, he's a super talent. I like him. I think he's going to be a good backup guard in the future. He's there. The guy that people are missing out on when they lost Taurean Prince, right? Taurean Prince was a big loss for the squad. Was Nick Claxton. I think Nick Claxton, a forward center, he can he has a little bit of handle. When he gets back, his development is going to be super, super important for this team. Important. I think if he can get going, they may have something special here. I'm talking Christian Woods type special. You heard it here first from Mikey Stepback. He's that talented. People are forgetting about Nick Claxton. Spencer Dinwiddie is out, partial tear. Somebody has stated on the news that it is a possible comeback this year. That was news to me. I thought he was out, but somebody has stated that he could come back. He'll be out of shape, but he could come back. Be interesting to see. We know about Durant, the forward position. We know about Jeff Green. He comes off the bench, does his job. Now they got Harden. They got Harris as a three-point shooter. Okay, look at the depth that's gone. You see how light they are? They got this is the question mark. Do they have Kyrie Irving? Next up, Tyler Johnson is there. Again, a solid backup guard. He's going to have to get more defensive-minded. You got DeAndre Jordan at the center spot. Right away, what do you see in this lineup that I don't see? There's not big man. There's not another big man to support the backup of him. I don't think Claxton's really a center. He could probably play it, but that's the X factor. Now, I'm going to keep going and tell you about a talent that could possibly pull in for a little bit. Cabarrot is there doing his thing, kind of glue guy, does a lot of different things. Let's not sleep on Reggie Perry, all right? Let's not sleep on Reggie Perry. I think there's something that may come about if you give him the minutes. The problem is he is an offensive player, not really known for his defense. If he can get more defensive-minded, he can possibly carve out a slot for himself. He will get minutes now with everybody out, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. He has to show out another kid that can potentially be something very, very good scorer in the league. And then we got Landry Shamet comes in. This is the three-point heroes right now. You got Harris, you got Shamet, you add them on with Durant, Harden, and hope potentially Kyrie Irving. That looks scary. And I'll also see Timothy coming along with his three-point shot. So these are the critical guys from a three-point perspective. If you try to link it, think of Miami, Tyler Hero, and then Duncan Robinson. Those type of guys to fill in to help out the Jimmy and the Adebayos, right? These are the guys. Now, do they need to add something else on there? I think so. Let's get into it. I'm going to help them. Let's go into the free agency market and see who's out there, who they could potentially get. I'm going in because I can, man. Let's separate it by the positions. Looking at their depth chart, we talked about it. Kyrie Irving, look at it. They got no backup here, but that's full of crap. It's either Tyler Johnson or Chris Chiozza as a backup. Do you want another guard there? Would you waste your slot with another guard pick? In my opinion, depends. Let's see who's out there. All right. From a point guard perspective, I'm gonna go all the way down to the bottom. We know about Isaiah Thomas. All right. would he truly fit in to that role that they're looking for? Are they looking for a defensive guard, or are they looking for an offensive type player, right? Let's get into it. Kadeem Allen's there, J.J. Barea, Shaq Buchanan. Don't really know him. I'm going to continue down. I want to go through this whole list. Who sticks out to me? There's a Yogi Ferrell available. I wouldn't go that route, okay? I'm just talking about fit. There's a Frank Mason Jr. that is also available, okay? So the point guard market, a little bit light. I'm looking for, there we go. Emmanuel Mudiay is available. A bigger guard, longer. I think this is a guy that's very interesting for this team, a bit more defensive-minded. He's going to be a hot commodity. Magic, Nets, this may be your guy. I know you got Tyler Johnson, but I think Mudiay may be a level up and an opportunity at still only 24 years old. Man, he was top-rated and looked so good out of high school. Feels like he lost some of that athleticism or confidence, but he was a dog. Can he get some of that back? Mudiay to the Nets, interesting, right? We keep going in. Kobe Simmons, I know talent guys, so to be careful. Some guys you don't know that I know. Kobe Simmons is a dog, okay? 23 years old, hasn't really got an opportunity in the NBA. He's a really great, good player, man. Really good, and will surprise a lot of people if given the minutes. Kobe Simmons has never got an opportunity though, so that's the problem. And I don't think they will give him one because he hasn't shown proof, right? So that's the other issue. Mudiay at least has been a starter, and that's why they're probably gonna look at him. Gary Payton Jr. is another guy, big defensive guard, 28 years old. And then you got Isaiah Thomas at 5'9". You lose a lot of defense, but you get a lot of scoring with him. And then last but not least is Brandon Knight, right? Brandon Knight's another guy that's had a successful NBA career. I feel like he's been there forever, but guess what? He's only 1 year older than Kyrie Irving at 29 years old. So be interesting to see if they want to get him. He's an all-purpose, can do it all, defense, can score. Wouldn't be a bad pickup in my mind to maybe get one of those guys, Simmons, Knight, or Mudiay, right? That fulfills that guard position, even though I like Chioza still in there in that running. So now where's Tyler Johnson fit in? He's kind of like the rounder, right? He can go from point guard to shooting guard, either or. Shooting guard position, they got nothing in there. Where obviously Bruce Brown fits into that slot. Then you got Landry. Then your backup is Tyler Johnson until Spencer Dinwiddie come back. Could you get somebody else that could do either the guard and forward position at one? I think they can. Let's go through that wonderful freaking list of guys that are both guard forward. I think we saw Justin Anderson at the top. Let's just go down. Again, these are just free agents. There's trades that could be made, even though they're kind of light on resources on who they can trade. Let's go through it. Riley Hawkins is there. Not sure if he fits in. Great athlete, tremendous player. Never got an opportunity. I'm just saying that because he hasn't never gotten the opportunity, so I don't think they're going to pick him up. What about Marco Bellinelli at 34 years old? Another three-point gunner. Interesting. All right. Let's keep going down. I wanted to find, look at that, Malik Newman is still out there. Too small for me. I wouldn't go with him. I just mentioned him because I saw him on there. I had Nick Stockis as a guy that'd be very interesting on this team. Can shoot the three, well-rounded player. Then you got Mariel Shayek, who kind of fulfills that Nets type of player role when they were a team, a cohesive team. He's interesting. Zaire Smith is another guy that's interesting for me. Big athlete. Looks like he's improved his jump shot. Again, guys they may not pick. Maybe Shayek has the best shot with Stavskis. But again, guys that could possibly help that team. CJ Miles is still out there. James Young is still out there. And the main guy I want to talk about from a shooting guard position that I think would be perfect for this team is Alonzo Trier. 6'5", played for the New York Knicks, 24 years old. Really never got the opportunity to show out with another team. He got dropped from the Knicks and disappeared. This guy was a dog, man. He was a dog six-man, on the runner for a six-man of the year. He's young. He's athletic. He can do a lot of different things on the floor. This would be an ultimate pickup for me at the shooting guard position. Maybe he could slot in some poor man time as a small forward. I really like what I see out of Alonzo Trier. I thought Justin Anderson was on this list. He used to be a Knickerbocker, but no, he's on a forward list. So let's just jump up to the forwards and guys I think that can do like a dual purpose type of role. Justin Anderson used to be part of the squad. He's gone. I believe went to the Sixers, and then they let him go. Justin Anderson is a guy I would look at for this team. I really like him, all right? I think he can do it all and is a perfect slot in. Big athlete in Dion Burton, another guy, okay? We talked about the guard position. I'm still there, right? I said Alonzo Trier is one option. Now I'm going to guys I think can slot in there. Justin Anderson is another guy. We got Deontay Burton, who I think is a dog. If you want to see a young, what do you call it, Zion Williamson, that's him as Deontay Burton. Keep going in. Who else is available? Rondé Hollis Jefferson, a former Net, is available. Can slot in there. I like these pickups, all right? Not that great of a three-point shooter, but had a pretty good career with the Nets. Was looking good, man, to be honest with you. Then he got traded over to Toronto, and then life went downhill. The other focal, trying to see here. No, Devin Robinson's a hell of an athlete, 6'7", 200 pounds. I don't know if they're going to get again a little bit too light in experience to get picked up. Schofield was the number one pick. Don't think they can squeeze him out. And then we got a guy that I love as an athlete. And if they want to slot him in, he's not a bad three-point shooter, but more of a sporadic. Think of him as a poor man's J.R. Smith. Rajon Tucker, without the jump shot, of course. But Rajon Tucker's a guy that's moving around a lot, and I don't know why. But if you want an athletic hero, because I think every team needs that, I think Rajon Tucker really fits the bill. So for me, it would be either Anderson, Trier, Tucker, and then Emmanuel Mudiay at that guard position, right? So that one of those 3 or 4 is the guard forward, and then obviously Mudiay for that point guard position. Even though they don't have a real facilitator, that's the issue. I don't know if Mudiay can be that. I'm talking about eyes like Trae Young, eyes like Chris Paul. There's not one of those guys, maybe Chiozza, can become it. Now, from a big perspective, I'm suggesting for this team to go after maybe a power forward with athleticism. There's a couple guys out there. Obviously, Dwayne Dedmon's going to be the big top, old vet. But you got Cheick Diallo there, maybe an opportunity. You also have, I'm trying to find Noah Vonleh. I'm going to just say, instead of looking through the list, Noah Vonleh is somebody that they need to think about, okay? He's a tremendous, tremendous player. Again, it's just falling down the rough and not given the opportunity. Straight back to the back. Think about what an athletic Wendell Carter Jr., Noah Vonleh, and he used to have handle at back in the day. I like Noah, and I think he just needs an opportunity. Other than that, Ivan Rabb is gone, right? Former superstar out of the freaking college ranks, but disappeared in the NBA and is now out of work. Amari Spellman is similar to Reggie Perry, but he's a stretch guy. He can do a lot of different things. I actually like him high up there, right underneath. Who did I say? Right underneath power forward. What's his name? Noah Vonleh. I like Spellman. He can do it all. Shoot the three, inside play. The boy can get wicked. I like this kid. Now, if I continue down, I think that's all we have there. Kenny Wooten's a big shot blocker. That's why he's there. Not sure if they only need that. So he's interesting. And I think those are the guys I would start to say, hey, come in for a workout, see what you got. All right. And then Ivan Rabb, I'm just going to throw him in there because he's only 23 years old and he kind of got him as a disappearing act. Now, John Henson's also available, right, at 30 years old. Another interesting player. Joakim Noah, tough guy. But I think you're missing some offense there, and I don't want him to waste that with Noah. Center-wise, not really much there to go chop your bits on. Hence why I say the Nets should be looking at free agency. Trey-wise, when you look at this squad, there's absolutely no reason why they can make Dennis Smith Jr. is available, right, as a backup guard. He's not playing with the Knicks. I've been preaching his praises all year. I think he's a guy that needs an opportunity. Last guy I missed out was Gerald Green. Gerald Green fits in perfect with this team. Oh my God. He slots in perfectly, shooting the three. Actually, he would be one of my first choices to back up Joe Harris, get Gerald Green in there, a three-point bomber. All right. So now we got that loaded and what the squad needs to do from a free agent perspective. Pick up a power forward, pick up another guard that can do it a little bit all, and then another guard forward that can do it all. I think if they get those pieces, they will have a good chance of making a run to the Eastern Conference title. Now, gelling-wise for the Nets, there's no doubt about it. With this squad depleted the way it is, there is enough ball time for all these guys to dribble it out. No offense. They have enough one-on-one opportunities for all of them to win with this squad and what they have, right? There's nothing there. So when people say worry about how's it going to affect the ball, well, if Kyrie doesn't get off his ego trick, it's just going to be he's going to hit it every 2 or 3 times instead of hitting it every 2 times with Harden there. So it may be better for him from getting a breather perspective. At the end of the day, the Nets have done a great job in getting this talent assorted and getting the trades made. Now it's little intricacies, little steps, and finishing touches to make this team truly a title contender. I just gave them the options. I just went over Kyrie. And now, boys, I'm stepping back. I'm out of here, my boys. Peace.